Alrighty, so it has been a little bit of a week, a little bit of a hiccup in prep, but if anybody knows me, no matter what comes up, we will always find a way to make it work, because where there's a will, there is a way. So to catch you guys all up to speed, at 5 weeks out, because I'm currently 4 weeks out. So 5 weeks out, I had suffered an injury in the gym. This is my first real significant injury that I've ever actually received in the gym through training. I'm very, very calculated, very structured with my training. And within that, that usually allows me to be very safe, very aware of my body. However, when we get to the tail ends of prep, obviously we're pushing our body to the extremes. Bodybuilding, by no stretch of any imagination, is a healthy, pretty, flowery sport. Obviously, it gets gritty, it gets uncomfortable, and we do push our body to the brink of depletion. So in order to get all that fat off, we do need to get really depleted. So essentially what had happened, we were running through a really good smooth period where we were doing a refeed day once a week. I would do a refeed day, my weight would barely come up. We go back to base plan and we would have that body fat loss happening really fantastic. What happened 3 weeks ago is my coach gave me a refeed day and he wanted me to have a large cheat meal on top of that refeed day, which you guys probably seen on my Instagram a few weeks back. That actually didn't have the exact response that we wanted. Yes, it filled me up really good, but it did slow my digestion down a little tiny bit, which then resulted in my coach making the decision to then push me for 16 days in a row of low days to get me more depleted, because we essentially wanted to get that lower back in a little bit tighter. But we do need to be mindful of the fact that, when we push depletion, eventually the body is gonna say, nah, bro. And that's kind of what happened. So we just continue to push depletion harder and harder, because, me being me, I'm a bit of a hard ass and I can be a little stubborn. And I was just like, let's just push. I want to beat my package from last year. I want to bring my best. I don't care how hard it gets. Let's just do it. But in hindsight, looking back now, I really should have had that, outside lens being like, hey, this is a very long period of time pushing low days. You are in a very low body fat percentage. And we also want to be mindful that we're not losing muscle mass right now as well. So in hindsight, we should have probably done a refeed day probably 5 to 7 days prior to the injury that I had incurred, but you live and you learn. So we're just gonna take that collected data. I now know where my threshold of my body is, of where I can push things without my body full-blown breaking down. So as much as this was obviously a little bit of a shitty situation, it was also kind of a good thing because it taught me a lot, and I didn't actually, cause an injury that enabled me to be paralyzed or not able to walk long term. So through doing lots of water rehabilitation all week, which is something that I'm very passionate about myself, combining that with lots of deep tissue massages, chiropractor appointments, physio, acupuncture, doing proper mobility work, and just being smart about things. We have had significant amount of progress. So it's been exactly 8 days since the injury happened at this point in time. I can now actually walk heel to toe, which is fantastic. But where the injury happened, when I was in an RDL, I can't obviously go into that full flexion right now, but essentially at the bottom of the RDL, my posterior pelvis had lost engagement and came out of slight alignment, and that was caused by my hamstring and glute tie-in snapping at the same time as I got a micro tear in my adductor insertion. So yeah, definitely a spicy feeling, wouldn't recommend. I was actually having a really good training session, and sometimes shit just hits the fan, and that's basically what happened. So we could do one thing, we could say, oh, everything's miserable, blah, blah, blah. But that is not gonna serve me, it's not gonna serve my life, it's not gonna serve my goals. So all we did was we pulled back a little bit on cardio, which in result actually gave my body a really good rest time. And then essentially what I did is I actually allowed my body to refeed for a couple days. So I actually decided myself that that's what I needed, so that's what I did. So I actually gave myself almost double the carbs for a few days in a row. My body weight barely even moved up whatsoever. But then when I actually got back into my cardio, aka I could, you know, do some swimming, get a little bit of a sweat going, then my body weight actually started dropping again, because my body kind of adjusted to that flow state of where it was. It was allowed to have a rest period, and then at that point in time, the body was responding exactly how I wanted it to. So realistically speaking, given the response that I had, definitely confirms that we should have done a refeed day of the week prior to, and then that way I would have kind of been like refilled, reset, refreshed, and then we still had 5 more weeks to dig. And really at 5 weeks out, I was like maybe 2 weeks out conditioning. So really, you know, you got to be smart in looking at your timeline and the risk reward factor when it comes to making decisions on a bodybuilding prep. You know, obviously, I'm learning a lot this prep. I learned so much in my first prep, but I'm learning so much more this prep, being a lot more hands-on, making my own decisions at this point in time. So if there's anything that I could recommend, it's take your data, take your notes. It's not just about your body weight, your visuals. It's like, how are you feeling? How are your legs feeling? You know, how is that fatigue accumulation occurring? Because if we want to really think about it, prep principles should be about fatigue management. I'm very much so learning, versus trying to get as shredded as possible as fast as possible. That's not exactly what we're doing. Yes, we need to get as shredded as possible for the stage time, but with incurring the least amount of fatigue in the process. So if that's something that you're interested in, you're looking to build your physique to get on a stage in the future, then make sure you guys hire an educated coach who's knowledgeable, who's gonna take the time to also pass on the knowledge that they do know, so that you're able to set yourself up for the best package for the stage, prevent any injuries like this from occurring, and have the best time of your life. I am taking on clients right now actively, lifestyle clients and competitive clients. I have multiple clients on my roster right now who are currently prepping to get ready for their next show, or are currently getting ready to prep in 2025. So super excited to be diving into that journey with my clients. And if you guys are interested in that, feel free to head on over to my Instagram page, either Kyle15Chafe or my actual coaching page, Inclusive Fit Coaching, and we will get you started up on the gain train today. Today, we are going to get a little bit of back training in. Technically, I was supposed to hit back and hams today, but obviously we ain't touching the hamstrings. There's gonna be no leg training, unfortunately, for at least another week. I did do a little bit of fluff work on my quads the other day, just to get a little blood flow in there, but I literally used 30 to 40% of the weights that I would usually use. And there was also some movement patterns that I just couldn't do it at all. So I just listened to my body, worked with that. But the benefit of me not actually having crazy taxing, you know, central nervous system taxing leg days right now is I have so much gusto to give to my upper body, so much to give. So we're gonna go fuck this up. So stay tuned, follow along, and we're honestly gonna have a little bit of fun with this today, because I'm not doing my regular programming. And anybody who knows me, I'm super strict on doing the exact same exercises, the exact same way, the exact same timing every single week for years on years, because I'm a true believer in creating that perfect stimulus. And once I find it, I don't like to walk away from it. But because I can't do some of the things that I usually do gravitate towards as my staple movements, you're gonna see me do a couple little different things today, a little bit of a different flow of a workout. So it'll actually be an exciting video for you guys for once, because it's not gonna be me doing the exact same thing over and over again in the same order. So enough of me talking. What we're really here for is the pump. So this is my current stack that I'm using pre-workout. So honestly, I don't actually use that much stim off season. I'm actually like really against stims for the most part. But no carbs, no energy. Your boy is loving the wick mode. This isn't crazy high stim, but really, really good mental focus and clarity. Really gets me through my workouts right now. So this is a staple. Now this right here is something that we all know I use all year long. This is the best damn product you'll ever use in your life to get a pump. And that's what we're here for, maximize those pumps. And then of course, creatine. I take 5 grams a day, every day. It doesn't actually matter when you take this, just as long as we get it in. But because I have all my supplements at my work all the time, I just take this with my pre-workout shake because it's easiest. And then while I'm still at work and I'm not training that day, I'll just drink it with my greens in the morning to make sure I get it in. But I find that's the easiest way for me to make sure that I get that in every day. Last but not least is my NoXT. So these are gonna be a nitric oxide booster. So I actually take these with my pre-workout meal, because I do find that they take about 20 extra minutes to kick in comparison to my powdered pre-workouts. So I pretty much eat my pre-workout meal, which digests really quickly for me since I've been eating cod and rice a lot for pre-workout lately. So I'll basically dummy these right away, and then about 15-20 minutes later, I'll drink my pre-workout shake. So then by the time that I get in the gym, the amount of blood flow I'm able to get into the muscle is just absolutely stupid. And that's what we're here for. Get stupid, get pumped, but also be smart and not get hurt at the same time. All right, without further ado, let's go get this done. All right, so first up here, we're gonna get the upper back lit up. I really like to use a chest supported machine row. Nice stable pathway, get everything firing. And of course, we're trying to get the upper back here. So really trying to keep those elbows high and wide. Open that chest up. Oh yeah. All right, nice and warmed up. Might do a little feeder set before we get into some big work. Can't wait to be back to the bulk and getting huge. But for right now, I'm definitely enjoying getting shredded. All right, feeling good. Little feeder. Not gonna waste too much energy there. This is a moving pattern that I've been doing for 3 straight consecutive years. Probably one of my favorite upper back builders. But because I've been doing it so consistently, get a warm up set in, get a feeder set in. It only really takes like 5 reps for me. Really feel out that weight, and then we can save all that glycogen for this working set, which we're gonna smash. Working set number 1. Feeling pretty depleted here today, not gonna lie. We're just gonna play it smart today, and we're gonna do 1 working set on everything, 1 back off set, learn from our mistakes. Okay, so let's take 25 off, because at this point, it is about maintaining muscle. How do we maintain muscle? By not wasting glycogen we don't have, A, but also B, keeping our stimulus the same. When my energy levels are this low, there's no fucking way in hell I'm gonna be able to do 2 working sets with the same weight and have the same technique and stimulus. My second set's gonna go down to the gutter. It's not the stimulus I'm trying to create. 21 days and we're on that plane. Let's go. Okay, let's go. That's a wrap on those. Let's go have some more fun. All right, do a little feeder set here and then get right into it. Okay. All right, so first working set of 12 there, felt great. It's my usual working weight. Now usually I would have had just came out of some hot and steamy RDLs, but since we can't do those and we're not really training hamstrings today, I kind of jumped right on into these and I'm feeling way more energy. So we're actually gonna do same working weight, do a drop set on the second set here, which is what I usually do here. And I'm gonna add in an extra back move today, just where I have so much more to give. Just gonna do 1 set of a wide grip lat pull down for the upper back. So we are gonna be leaning back into that, unlike my usual lat pull down, which I come down in front. But yeah, so let's get this crushed. Find a lot of people prioritize drinking water too, like during their workouts, but like undervalue the importance of hydrating in that like 24-hour window prior to training. So it's like my goal all day long isn't just like hitting my meals as I go throughout my day to make sure that like my glycogen storage and like my amino acid profiles and all that are good to go. It's like really making sure like checking off that I'm drinking my water throughout the day so that when it comes time to train, I actually can get a good pump because I'm hydrated. We don't have any carbs anymore, but we always go with the old faithful EAAs, code CHAFE, Jack Factory. Save yourself 15% off while you're at it. Let's go. Drop it like it's hot. Let's go. Okay. Yeah, buddy. All right, so clued up those seated rows. Gonna bring a move back in that I used to do a lot, which is gonna be a wide grip lat pull down, but it's actually not a lat exercise. If I was doing lats, I'd be sat upright, pulling elbow pass slightly in front, but I'm actually going to lean back. Elbow pass is gonna be wide here to really get that upper back engagement going. Launching me up. No, we're getting light there. One more straight set of these. Just gonna drop it down 15 pounds. Get a really good squeeze here, high reps. And then I'm gonna do a little bit of trap isolation work, I think. So we're gonna do like a face pull, and that'll pretty much conclude it. I might do like one individual set of a neutral grip seated row just to bring that Christmas tree and middle back and everything in nice and tight. But that's all we're gonna do for today and wrap that up. Actually, I actually left rear delts from yesterday's workout till today because I knew today was gonna be a short, boring workout. So yeah, we'll end off with rear delts and then that'll clue up today. All right. Okay. So these are probably one of my favorite exercises for the trap isolation. So notice that I'm really just bringing my hands into my chin. My hands are about an inch or two apart from each other. And I'm only trying to bring those elbows back in line with my shoulders. Knuckles should be facing forwards the whole time, so I'm not rotating. Nice stretch, nice squeeze. So one little warm up there, hop into a working weight, blow up the traps, get a few rear delts going as well, and that'll clue up the day, boys. I'll just superset these back and forth, get a little pump going. Working set time. Ooh. Okay. Salut. How you doing? I had shoulders yesterday, so I actually took my rear delts out of my shoulder day. So I'm doing like upper back and shoulders. Or no, I mean upper back and rear delts. Yeah. So not really that exciting, but doing what I can. I can do a little bit extra back volume, so that's fun. Okay, done the back for the day. One more set of rear delts, and then we'll hit up some posing, see how we're looking. Feeling pretty depleted, so better be looking fucking crispy. Gave myself a decent refeed day 3 days ago. Next day, I guess technically, no, 4 days ago. Next day, I was up 1.6 of a pound. Day after, I was down exactly a pound. Day after that, down exactly a pound, or 0.8 of a pound, sorry. And then again this morning, down a full pound. So that's like almost 3 full pounds every day. Boom, boom, boom. Sent in a little check into my coach. Super depleted. Figured we'd do a refeed day today. He said 4 more low days. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. Okay. Okay, time to do it all over again, boys. Hey. Okay. All right, let's see how we're looking. We're pretty lean. It's got the smallest little bit to go. So I got a little bit right here that I'd like to lose, just to be skinless. And then there's like a little tiny bit. But besides that, we're peeled. Let's go. All right, so that's gonna wrap up today's upper back, traps, a little bit of rear delt work. Realistically speaking, I did do a little tiny bit of rehabilitation and mobility work in there today as well, just to give some love into that hamstring to make sure that we're speeding up that recovery process. I will probably in the future give a breakdown on kind of how I went about going through this, but as of right now, it's kind of going as we go through the process. So, you know, I can't really map out exactly the route that we're taking because as I'm going, I'm kind of making decisions as my body's responding, but I'll most definitely follow up with that in the future. But for right right now. We're gonna head on home. I still gotta go home and crush a meal. I have no carbs left for the day at this point in time. We still got a nice few steps left to do. I am doing an hour and a half of fasted cardio here right now, and then I'm also doing an hour in the evening. So, you know, realistically speaking, this is the point where it is push time. Last 3 weeks out before a show, before we hit peak week, of course, where we really dial things back. But for these 3 weeks, we're really going all in, pedal to the metal, seeing what we can really bring to the table. And, you know, it's not going to be peaches and rainbows, but you best be damn sure I'm going to be bringing a fine package to that stage. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video if you enjoyed it, and comment below anything that you'd like to see. On my Instagram, I have been posting a questionnaire, because on this next YouTube video, guys, that I will be going through, I'm going to go through all of your questions live, giving detailed responses, exactly what you guys are looking for. And that could really be anything from nutrition, training, PEDs, supplements. That could be anything, you know, personal, lifestyle, or, you know, my trends, life experience, anything that you guys are really looking to talk about. You know me, I'm an open book. I don't mind talking about anything. So whatever you guys are looking for, let me know, and we'll be sure to give it to you in the next video. Anyways, on that note, I'm out. Have a great day, and make sure you guys are getting your gains. Let's go.